Hey there, rock and roll podcast fans. This is Mike Hoban. Welcome to Rat Tales, the podcast that brings you the music and stories of the Boston rock scene that grew out of the mid-'70s at the Rat and some of the other hellhole joints, each with their own sick charm.
Well, I started like probably most kids that start playing guitar is like the youngers, the people that you hear on the radio the most. And I mean, back in the day, when I started playing, I was around 14. So it was around, I liked all the big bands, Cream and Yardbirds, and in Floyd. I liked also knowing what to it, and I'm sure just like, just so curious about all the different songs that we bring like how cool bands are right there.
I liked Alvin Lee and Johnny Winter. I love the blues. The Who. This was kind of embarrassing, but it is the truth. You've got to remember I was really young. Grand Funk Railroad. I used to love them. I was born to fucking know how to fucking keep a rhythm, It wasn't anything that anyone taught me. I just can do it. Right. And I just taught myself how to play lead guitar off records. Yeah. I had when I lived at home still, I had a small attic apartment type place, which I just used the front room. I just had a little amp with a 12-inch speaker, and I had one of those LPB1 power booster things, which is a 35-watt amp. I had that cranked up, and I used to just like play real loud and try to do like feedback stuff, make it sound like an airplane's, dive bombing, like going like that and shit. The cops used to come to the house all the time because it would be the summertime. I'd had the one window open, and they come by, the neighbors were complaining and stuff. My mother would come up and say, "Do you have to play so loud?" And I say, "Yes, I do." That's one of the other reasons why I got the fuck out of that town. Fucking Manchester, it sucks. It's fucking absolutely nothing. I think Boston's a one-horse town. Fucking Manchester's a one fucking pebble town.
I really did like the Ramones, probably of all the punk rock groups that I heard and new bands that I heard. I thought they were incredible. Just like, they were like a three-piece band with a lead singer and one guitar who could play this amazing rhythm, full guitar sound, 2-minute songs, one after another, very kind of, machine-like. And I like that just as a drummer. That's what I personally like. I don't like taking time between songs and all that. That's people like that, and that's okay. But I like for things to be a show, Boom, 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 boom. So that, I really like that. And those two drummers, Tommy Ramone and Marky Ramone, I tip my cap to both those guys. To be able to do that, keep up, they really had to learn how to pace themselves to play those songs one after another, not be able to take even half a breath between songs, I found myself personally, like with a real kid set, I hadn't learned how to pace myself. So like after 3 songs, I'd be like, I'm thinking, boy, I hope I can finish the set. So eventually, when Common at noon would come around, it was nice. I could finally catch my breath. But
Sunshine's hot on the coming at noon. All those girls look like you.
those guys could really play. And they had to, there was no room for mistakes, the Ramones. They had to boom, 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 boom. So I wanted to comment about the Ramones. And I remember one of the times we opened up for them at the Paradise, there was like a dressing rooms next to each other. They were in their dressing room. They had practice amps and a practice drum kit, like a pad set. They were going over their set instrumentally. You could hear them. They weren't in there drinking and carrying on. They were going over their set. That impressed me. I thought, what they had, they didn't have much. They didn't have like mega bucks backing them up, but what they had, they really took seriously. And that impressed me. So I just wanted to say that about the Ramones.
That was probably the first band that we actually had a name. I used to play with some other guys, but we never played out it. We didn't even get to have a name like it, which is, as a matter of fact, in those days, my father had one of those acoustic F-note harmony guitars, and I went and bought like a little a pickup they could add to it, and so we could play through an amp and stuff. So that was the first guitar I was using. That band never really did anything. It's kind of like, hey, yeah, we should get that together and do this after school. Yeah, okay, but that's about as far as it went. But once I hooked up with Alpo, he was a lead singer in a band that he had before, and I guess the singer Nestor, that was the Mr. Real, because the singer before he just left it, he didn't want to do it anymore. So Alpo decided that he would just play bass and sing, and we were doing like a lot of like covers with kind of like what a lot of bands are doing these days. What people want to hear, they want to hear. They don't want to hear anything like they like to hear like the old stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Oh yeah, I remember that song. I was like, yeah, to hear something new. Well, no, we can go back to the 50s, maybe like some like Chuck Berry type stuff, but real basic, real. We kind of really didn't know what we were into. We were like so meow at the time. We know we wanted to like rock and we wanted to do our own original stuff, but didn't know anybody that had that was a songwriter. So we were just in high school still, like young. So we just said, well, let's just everyone likes this song. It's on the radio. So we like it. Let's cover this song. Right, and like I said, those days, that was quite a long time ago, so I don't remember any. Should say that we did like a lot of early Stones and stuff, and then just they're all kind of like, but if we felt like doing, so because I mean, we can do whatever we want. Young. Oh, it was great. He was like, I considered him like one of my best friends. I met him up in Danes Street Beach in Beverly. That's where like all the kids went, all the girls went, and all the drugs went, and all the junkie went. So me and my best friend from Manchester, this is how long ago. We used to like hitchhike. People would actually stop, pick us up. It's just the next town over. It was like a 10-mile ride into Beverly, and each week, go there and party out. And a lot of times, my friend would, like, if the guy was like an older guy and he was a cool guy, he'd say, he'd go, "Hey, you think you can buy us some beer?" 'Cause we were underage, of course, and I think it was before the drinking age dropped, and of course it was one. I guess I don't know. It seemed like there was always booze around. We could always get whatever we wanted to know, but that was legal and not how it hurt. But that's where I ran into Albo. Now we started talking about music, and I started telling him about what I like. I really like the sound of like a nice loud guitar, And he was talking about all kinds of different bands. He was, in well, kind of like just beginning, but he was telling me like what he was doing. He had sung for a couple different bands and stuff. And I said, we should get together and try to form something. When we started playing, we had a band called Dizzy Lizzy, and we played like around Beverly and stuff. We basically did covers, and it was started to get fairly older, and I just said, "No, there seems to be much around here. I think just get into the city." So I moved to the city, and Alpo, he followed me in. Like I just had into a rooming house. It's about half the size of this room, say. And another good friend of mine, he moved in with me also, and all three of us were like sleeping on a mat together with like really good Three Stooges and on that the floor, no furniture, nothing. But we were in the city. It was actually it was Harvard Square, which was pretty much sitting to us, and they with where some ways stuff. Where I grew up to was no, I grew up in Manchester, Mass. When people hear that, it's like, oh, there's so many like rich people who live in that place. I always say, on the other side of the track, so. But it was good to get into the city, and then yeah.
Well, I didn't know Alpo. I didn't grow up in the North Shore. I'm from Connecticut, and Alpo and I were complete strangers. There seemed to be a bond there. As a bass player and a drummer, everything just clicked right away. The rhythm section thing, which we both were tuned into. I have a feeling, lately bands aren't really into the whole rhythm section thing, and that's fine for them. But Alan and I were into the rhythm section thing, and the bass and drums. And just musically speaking, everything fell together. We didn't have to look at each other or anything. My bass drum foot went with his bass just automatically. It was like, and that's rare. And I valued that, and we had a friendship bond too. We weren't always hanging out. We kind of, I guess you could say, moved in somewhat different circles, and had some different interests. But nevertheless, as different as we were, there was a friendship bond there. Just like anybody has a friendship bond with somebody, Alan and I got along fine. And, there were sometimes things he would do which would be like, wow, Alpo, be careful, man, But I don't recall ever passing judgment on Alan, and no matter how crazed things got and all the rest of it. I kind of always felt I had more than enough to do with the drums, and just getting through a set was a struggle for me. And what anybody else did on stage, or what anybody else felt that they had to do before they got on stage, I didn't. It was like, you know, I didn't care really. So Alan and I got along well. We were playing golf together, like towards the end of his life, and you know, that was a trip. So, you know, it was like that. You know, it was good chemistry there.
Not until, a band that played in Bever that we liked a lot. They weren't, I don't think they were called the Nervous Seas at the time. I think they were called the Rhythm A's, possibly. Like, it was the same guys, but Jeff Wilkinson was no longer with us. He was a good friend of ours. He was a great drummer, and we were saying, like, there's no good bands around anymore that are ready to get solos. He says, sure there is. He says, should we hear like the Ramones? And I had never heard of them. I said, no, because they never played that on the radio and stuff. And I didn't know anybody that knew anything about it. And also the Stooges. So we heard those two, especially the Stooges. They said, yeah, let's do, like I guess all young bands is doing like Now I Want to Be a Dog and all that song. And that was kind of like our first like stepping stone into playing live and just playing it around Beverly and stuff. Doing, I guess songs that we liked, but people that most people probably didn't really even know, until after they heard us.
Well, myself personally, I wanted to get out of the North Shore area. I was so bored with, I grew up in Manchester by the sea, on the other side of the track, so I had no money in the family, but everyone thinks when you say Manchester by the sea, they say, oh, money, no, wrong. But anyways, me and my best friend from Manchester used to go to Beverly all the time to party, Dane Street Beach. That's where all the drugs and girls were and stuff. So that's where I ended up meeting up with Alpo and ended up talking about music and started to play and stuff. But I always wanted to get where there was more people, more action. And the only thing I could think of was like Boston. It's the closest city I could think of. So I moved to Boston. I think I got a room in a rooming house. I think Alpo moved in with me. Uninvited, but I moved in. The room was about half the size of this room, but it was like $20 a week. I think actually $20 a month. I'm sorry. That's how cheap things were back in those days. It was 1973, maybe. I'm old. Well, I'm an old guy. Even though I don't have any gray hair, I'm old.
Well, actually, that was through. I was also through. Jeff Wilkinson, he knew Jonathan Richmond. Jonathan Richmond, he's telling Jeff that says, hey, I got some of these young guys that are looking for someone who's a songwriter, but they don't have one there. Like a band without a songwriter, and he told that to Jonathan Richmond. He says, "Oh, I got a songwriter without a band." And I was Felice, who was in the Modern Lovers at the time. I don't know exactly what he did. She just hung around, or if he played in them, or like way, but considered himself, I suppose. And Jonathan Richmond used to call him Little Hippie Johnny. I don't know why. I always was so young now. I was a young kid, That's how we got hooked up with the Felice, and when we started playing, we had one of the drummers at Felice used to use Kevin Lachine, was a big friend of my house. So He's no longer with us anymore. I thought he was a great drummer. Felice wanted more of a Charlie Watts type drummer, something even straight up kind of thing. But it's kind of like once we formed into making a band, it's kind of like Felice kind of like just took over like all the years and said, okay, I want things like this, I should do this and do this like this. And we just figured it kind of wide-eye, the songs were good, we liked them, and we were having a good time and partying, and that was basically what we were into it at that age, Hey, lots of people coming, and there's lots of girls, and we're all partying and doing drugs, and this was fun. So it was fine by us, and that's basically how the Real Kids first started. Well, the original Real Kids were around. How many people have been in the band since then? I don't know. Kind of like the same way he is now. Well, it's like his songs, and we liked the songs, and I think we were more into the party and having a good time, because we were young. It wasn't so much. We liked the songs, and we just said, yeah. And the shows that we played, a lot of the people were. It wasn't like strangers coming and seeing the band. It was like same people, the same crowd coming all the time. Like I'd be playing, I'd look around in the crowd, and I would know everyone in the crowd, and I'd say, this is great. It's like having a party that we're playing at all the time, so it was great in the beginning. It was before the first single and the first LP was made. Right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that was the Rat and Cantones were probably two places we played the most.
Definitely the Rat, and any other places that were like in Cambridge. And there was also Chet's for a while, if you remember that place. That was a short-lived club. It was over towards the North End type area. But Felice actually lived like right across the street from where Cantones was, on Battery March Street. And he got to, it was like kind of his bar he was hanging out at. And he got to know Mario, and he just said to Mario, he says, look, if you want to make a lot of money, let us play in here. We'll fill this place on the weekends, and you'll make all kinds of money selling beer and booze and shit. And he went with it, and so it became Cantones. I have to give him a credit for that. He started that club. We used to practice upstairs, and I could just take the elevator down any given night. It was great. As you can imagine, I won't go any farther than that. What happened was, I was living where we were practicing with the Real Kids. I was like living like where the, kind of looked like this, with equipment and stuff around, just a mat on the floor kind of thing. And Kevin Glasheen lived right across the street. And he goes to me, oh, this is where all the old Real Kids that get thrown out of the band moved to. And he took me into like his apartment, so I stayed with him for a while. He was nice enough to let me stay there. He's no longer with us, I've heard, the last year or so. He was a good drummer, though. I liked the way he played drums. I mean, he's a big guy. I used to call him a crazy gorilla because he was out of his mind. Which is, I find that's a compliment, it's not like a rank. He's a big fucking guy, and he was playing with Felice. That whole story, it's the Howard story, which he's not here, but he's late, if he's coming. We saw him, he used to play with Mickey Clean and the Mez, and Felice wanted like a certain like type of band, and me and Alpo just wanted to play what we wanted. We wanted to play what we thought was good, but he wanted to get like a Charlie Watts type drummer, some that just, kept the beat, and we said, yeah, that's cool, go with that. And Howard was like the best thing we saw, like around the circuit and the clubs that we went to and stuff. And he was in the Mez, so Alpo just says, I'm gonna go steal him for us. So he did, basically. He quit the Mez and came with trying to start the Real Kids, which was just the kids at the time. But then we found out there was so many bands called the Something Kids and the Something Other Kids. We said, we don't care about them, we're the real kids. They're the real thing, Now they're the fake kids.
No, not at all. There wasn't really a lot of, there was other bands in Boston, but there was no one that saw them that played like the way the Real Kids played. And so we had, like I said, we had our loyal fans, which were like friends of ours that would come in, but they'd also be like, wouldn't be all totally just friends, but they'd be like, just about everyone then it'd be like strange girls that you'd never seen before, but just did, I didn't really talk to him much. I didn't. I said hello to him and stuff and saw him and stuff, but he just he saw that there was a lot of music in this town and a lot of people that wanted to play live, and he had the place. The subway, get off at Kenmore, and you walk up the stairs and there's a front door of the place. It's perfect for people that didn't have cars and stuff. Most of the kids didn't. Right. Times were tough then, like they are now, I guess. They've always been tough, as far as I can see. Right. And, it became a very popular place. Just like in Billy Loco's song, let's go to the Rat. Right. Yes, I forget his name, but I'm sure it's on the record there. That studio, the engineer, he was very good. We basically played like we were playing live, and so we had all of the songs right. I think it was only me and Felicia was standing in the room with him. It was being produced, and he was like, he'd be setting it and setting the levels right, and I'd say, and I just would go like, that's it. That sounds just like the band. It sounds just like us. That's what we want. We didn't want strings or orchestras, happening bells and whistle and all that shit. Just wanted the first the Red Star record I thought came out like really big because it sounded just like band in those days, which is all I could ask for. That's all I wanted to when I get in the house, but we were. Yeah, it was. I think, I didn't, I'm not really sure, but I think that's just, we used to do a lot of shows at the Paradise opening for bigger bands and stuff. I think he somehow, by word of mouth, heard about the band, and I think he may have seen the band or heard the band, and he wanted to use something with the band. Probably kid from the French label there that put up the CD down, said, and these guys, some good songs. He's young, we got a lot of energy. I think back at 9, he's always done good bands. I think Marty taught me he started like the Dolls, I think, and stuff, and right, a bunch of other people. I don't know. It's just but they've always been like good bands. Nothing to be ashamed of. So, and we were like, being young like we were. I think I was 20-ish, 20, 21 or something. To go to New York to make an album was like, you know, I was like, yeah, this is what you do. Okay, this is how it starts, you know. But right, with me, it's kind of like that's kind of being in a band is very difficult kind of thing. It's not difficult, but it's just all kinds of things that can go wrong in different people's lives, like either the drugs or your family or people or money or something or attitudes or whatever, you know. Right, it's like everything just like falls apart. Eventually, it's like, how long can it last? How long can a good thing last? Well, we set up just like we were like on a stage, and I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, we were all like mic'd. We were all at different tracks, and I think they made sure that, you know, one mic wasn't picking up, you know, like the bass mic wasn't picking up any of the drums or something. It's done very well, I thought. Right. And I think the engineer was really good too. He basically he captured like what the band sounded like, and then he you know, mixed it in a way so you could hear everything also. And there was no mistakes or anything, you know, that needed to be done over or taken. It wasn't like a live show or anything. But it basically was like, let's just set up and pretend like we're playing at the Rat, and they'll put mics on it and record it. So it sounds like that was it.
The way it sounds, that's why I think it sounds so good, because we're all hammered. I remember me and Felice were both like in when we were mixing it, and we'd just go on. He had everything like set, and I just said to Felice, I said, that's it, that sounds like the band, let's just not change anything. So nothing was really produced, it was just kind of like the band played live and it was recorded really well, you know. Yeah, it's really, I mean, if you listen to the thing, it sounds like the band's playing live. I mean, the energy that we had and stuff, and the volume and stuff, and you know, the Perno we had in us, which we nicknamed Penrod. I don't know where that came from, where that started from, but I didn't care either. I just said, give me some more of that stuff.
You know, I don't really remember my memories of this experience to me. I thought that it was ever great, but it was fairly quick. I think it was like a couple of weeks. So I don't know what came down and built on.
Saw like the Dolls down there one night, which was cool. I think Marty had something to do with them. He worked with them also. And one thing we made sure of is that we had like full control over the sound that came out. We didn't want to like sign with someone and say like, okay, now we're gonna do this and maybe put in like these stringed instruments here or these weird fucking conga drums here or something. We just said no, we're gonna do it the way the band sounds. And what's good about that Red Star record, it sounds like how we'd play like live on a Saturday night at the Rat, you know, on a good night when no one like misses a chord or fucks up or is too drunk and falls off the stage or something, you know?
Well, we just, I remember we did a lot of, we were still like opening for a lot of bands. Because like, I think when the Paradise first opened up, and we were doing the opening slots for a lot of like the bigger name national bands and stuff. We did a bunch of shows with the Ramones and stuff. I remember. I think they stopped. They didn't want us to open for them anymore because we had so many like fans in Boston. I felt it was like that's more than them on this team. And I said, we don't need those guys. We're going to crummy in the end. I said, oh, right. But yeah, for a while. I mean, I don't really recall like from when or to when or whatever. But I guess the later 70s, and it seems longer, but so much stuff was done there with Rad and I don't know. I had been moving around the city, different places and stuff. At one time, I was living right upstairs where we practiced. We practiced right above Cantones, and I was basically living in the practice room. So all I had to do was just take the elevator down, and there was a bar. You know, so it's much like my memories of that career. I'm sure I have. I don't know. It didn't have anything to do with me. I mean, I've never been kind of like Booker in, or knowing the have any connections or anything. I just wanted to just play guitar, have fun, and write, drink, and know it. And that's what I did, and that was about all I did, I guess. I don't know how, I guess one of those, the guys from Sponge Records was, I'm just seeing the band, and I heard, talked with Feliz guys. Feliz would be, I mean, it was kind of like, they were his songs, so we put him in charge, kind of, and I mean, we would say, like, well, we don't want to do that song, and he goes, we want to do your song or this, it's kind of like taking someone's property. It's like, it's his property, they all do it, we'll do it the way that we do it, and that's what they want. Even going it was fun. It was, we were young. It was all new to us. I mean, making records and stuff was called really exciting. Going different places, and traveling, and being in the studio and stuff. All the things I had never had done before and stuff.
And we did like Carmen at Noon, and I think the other side is All Kinds of Girls. At the other side. See, I don't even know. I don't know. I've got it at home somewhere, but I don't listen to it. It's a long time ago. But it was a lot of fun to do, and soon enough that I think Marty Thau somehow wanted to do something with us, which started Red Star. I mean, he had Red Star Records, but which started Red Star for us, for the real kids. We put out the first album.
It really depended on how much you're willing to go with the flow. And I just wasn't willing to do that any longer. And that would actually come up again. So the real kids changed. The music changed. That was the big thing for me. I really bonded with the rock and roll when it was rock and roll. And at some point, it just seemed like most of the rock and roll ingredient was removed and replaced with something else. And I'm sure a whole stadium full of people would disagree with me, but that's the way it felt to me. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't write songs. I don't sing. I don't play guitar. I do, in my opinion, help create songs, as hard as that might be for some people to understand. I think that is true. I can't just sit back there getting my little rocks off, just playing the drums, unless the music is getting me off, so to speak. If I can't feel good about what I'm co-creating with people, then it's just not going to work for me. That's what happened. I was 110% not into the music. It changed, in my opinion, to the point where all I was doing was playing the drums. I really wasn't into the music at all. And that's like, what are you doing? You're getting yourself off, I think we all know where that's at. And and that was I gave it an extra year, like from New Year's Eve 2000. That was the last, reunion show, originals. I gave it another year after that, and I was having some personal issues too with myself. I was starting to lose it, breaking down and stuff like that. I had to get out of that. It turned into a scary nightmare for me for reasons that I really shouldn't discuss, but I had to get out. It was time. And that's just the way that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what year that was, but I don't know whose idea it was, but somehow it's probably Felice. Somehow they decided, or he decided that he didn't want me in the band anymore. So I was in. I thought, myself. I thought we were like a team. It was the four of us were really friends. But little did I know that's not the case. That's not how it is in the real world. It's kind of like every man for themselves. And so I just I moved into Kevin Lachine apartment with him. He used to play with Felice in another band, and he goes, "This is where all the Felice rejects come to." He was a point, he was a really funny guy. He had a nickname, the Squando, India without a tribe. He was a big guy, but funny guy, the Irish guy. But yeah. Soon after that, I ended up playing with the Classic Runs, and that because Cole was playing in the Classic Runs, so we kind of like switched. Yeah, but Frank Rowe was a great guitar player, a good friend of mine. Just said that he goes, "Geez, I'll change Billy Cole for Billy Borgioli any day." Thanks, we. Basically, it was kind of like starting all over again, only with a different band, different songs and better people. I think we became closer. And did a bunch of stuff from the Ace of Hearts records. It would occur now. I don't know. I have this so many. I got a collection of everything that I played on. I don't even know. I really should dig it out to remind myself. That's right, I've thought all about this record, It's not like I play them or anything. It's going to eat in this, he's a real kids in I thought in just like that. I don't know if it was taken off the Red Star record or not. It's not. And then I know this stuff from this. That was a cool cover. All kinds of girls. This song from a different label, so we just like a reunion tour thing, TKO Records. We did the West Coast time tour, and we all hated this cover, and I think it's supposed to be like the Phoenix Rising or something. I just call it like a sweaty chicken. I just think you get sweat come out. So we call it the sweaty chicken. Some of the stuff you see for sort of like it's the same thing as that one. That's a great cup. This is the Sponge record. And it's from that was on Felice of a fire escape on the balcony on the escape. Her on the Battery Much Street. Lonely Financials even. And God, that's with and all these pictures that kind of look the same. I have more than if I did all this visible. Just as you can see, I look totally different. I don't have that hair anymore. I cut my hair for the summer to try to style. Anyways, that long hair shows. I'm not sure what this. I didn't even go at reading glasses now, so I can't even do it. So here's the Classic Runs stuff. But Ace of Hearts thing. This is from from enjoying his stuff feliz, really. And this season, just I think there's one song, the classic girls have one song on this. There's a whole bunch of Boston-based bands on this. I had to look at this one. I probably see better than I. Yeah, still so the trash. No, it's the Boston bootleg. I'm not even sure it's on that cut bootleg thing going to the attic or something. There's a short shrink of the attic. A whole bunch of youngsters. I know, I'm not sure. Yes, I actually could read it while it's on the way. This video on the call, this is he's so bad ton about the class which is like class I sure could. Fog. Severe. I think I don't think I was in the band anymore, but I think they used some of the tracks that had some earlier stuff. That's what they kept some stuff about the first thing. Right. Well, I'm not even sure if I would last like there is a man. And then on that, well, actually with Classic Girls and that formed the Varmints, which were songs that I had been writing then through the 70s, but I wasn't really playing them because I was in bands where other people with the songwriters. I just the guitar player, man. I didn't want to be a frontman or any rock star or anything. I just wanted to play the guitar and like have fun. But I was also like writing songs, and so everything fell apart with that. Well, actually, some of the Varmint stuff that I had were playing with the Classic Girls. I remember Frank saying to me, he goes, people should pay double at the door because they're seeing two bands here. Seeing Classic Girls and Varmint. And this is the very first Varmints thing with me is it's an Australian record, it's an EP. It's done Cactus Waste. Like, as soon as this came out, and I mean, Pete Taylor, he moved to Maine. Chris Flavor, I think he moved back to Beverly, and T. Pogad, I have no idea where he is. I think it over to the ladder. It's kind of like, as soon as like the record of the CD comes out, everyone like disappears. It's a curse in the Varmints. This is just the main cover of it to the first record. I like this much better. Yeah, the simple one. That's a lot of plugs. I think that convertible and famous so Tug from New York. Right, if it's another bands. Yeah, we were popular. We played when I was in the band, but short period of time till we travel around.
I don't really. Whenever we played, we always got a good reaction wherever we were playing. But I don't think I don't really remember doing a lot of gigs in New York. There was Max's and CBGB's, but that would come along. I think we did it maybe a total of maybe when I was in the band, maybe like 4 or 5 times with the band.
But he dropped the Dream of the Future. That's weird. I never heard that story. We used to practice his parents' basement. He was I don't know when that one is. band had like moved around so many different spots on our album. He was in a place in Beverly. This is his mother's place, where like the basic beginning band, playing in the basement cellar, playing on a trick. I don't know, there's anything, spectacular or different about my past. Any other band, any other kids says, yeah, that's what I want to do, and I could do that. Starts playing and plays with different bands, and old bands fall apart, go away, and people die, and life goes on. I mean, it was like basic rock and roll. I mean, Howard was a really great drummer, and Apple, I played bass with the bass drum, and I just played basically rhythm guitar. So we had like a really great rhythm section, and I remember at one time I was just thinking this like on stage one time when we were playing. I was just saying to myself, this band right now, it's got everything it needs, just the way it is, And of course things changed like about a month later. I don't know. I'm not even in the picture anymore. I don't even know. Paul is he's died, and I'm done. A couple of years back, I think.
It was fun. I needed to, I need to play. I have to play. I always will. When I joined up with Frank, he was very different. He has a different guitar style, which is really nice. It was totally different. And he writes like funny songs too, which is good. And we had a good band going for a while. I'm not sure exactly. It seems like as time goes on, different things happen to different people. The wife won't let me get out tonight, or the kids. I had to watch the kids tonight or something. But I didn't have any wife or kids in those days. And music came first. It was like, this is what I'm here to do on the planet. It's to fucking play, not to be some babysitter.
I liked it a lot because, with Frank is an excellent guitar player. Whereas Felice was basically kind of like, although he played some like the lead spots, as far as a guitar player, where he was kind of like a lot of performers do. They're kind of like a singer, and they get a guitar on the neck, and every once in a while they may like play some part or something. But he also he had the arrangements, and to show the band the arrangements, how the song is supposed to go. I would learn the arrangement. So live when we were playing, I'd be playing like the arrangement, and he'd be like singing and then playing like small guitar leads. So it's weird, it's a very complicated thing, a band, it's not as easy as you would think, because even if like you're close friends and you have the energy and stuff. I think what any band needs to get anywhere is a convenient management. Someone that's like a bit like business management that wants to make money for you so they can make money too. You try to do it yourself. It's like, there's just so many bands. It's like, I remember trying to do it myself, calm, simplistic. They say, who is that? Like they'd never heard of the band. I just think. Well, actually, we basically did. We had different people like do it for a while, and it didn't work out that well. But for the most part, we basically did most things ourselves. I'm just like. Because he just figured, how difficult can it be? You pick up the phone, then call the club and say, give us a weekend. And with Cantones, I think Felice was like living right next door to a Cantones. It's a better much 2 years than that. I think he used to hang out there, and it was kind of like his bar. He'd hang out, and he was talking to Mario, the owner, and just said he basically opened that club up to me at like a rock and roll place, and he just said, Mario, if you let us play here on the weekends, I swear we'll load this place with people, and you'll sell all kinds of booze. So he was into that, so that's how that whole club that started. Right. And there was a bunch of other clubs that, we played at different places. We played at too or something. Club 3, I don't know what that place's problem was, but it was like this, had like a car sign on the sign. It's like even the best bands would like book a gig there, like no one would show up. It's like no one wanted to go there. I think they got too spoiled, like going to the rag, you just think that the teens walk upstairs and go in the door, we don't want to way out in the middle of Cambridge someplace, Right. So, of course, everyone was drinking. They probably don't want to drive, shit off this over to get a tea or find someone that had a car and would drop them off or something in the night. Everyone's always thinking about themselves. It's like, well, you get it, I guess. Right. They end up for that, like a place like this, my penthouse Cracker Jack's apartment. The whole building of like Chinese people that none of them even speak any English. They look at me like I'm a monster. Like, there's something wrong with that. So it's good. Basically, we knew how the songs went, and we knew how we played them, and that's what we did. He basically produced it, twistly. I don't know, I can't really think of anything in particular that, like all these records are in these 45s that live there, CDs and stuff. There's nothing on any record that I really feel like embarrassed about like listening to. I mean, it all like sounds fine. It's like, sure, like, so what? If 50 years it was no one wanted to taking me here, I don't know that this ever happened, kind of like.
I forget the name of the label. It was I think it was an EP 45, and Felice hated the fucking the people there that ran the place, the way they ran the company, because like once we went out and went on tour, I mean that was fun and stuff. Like we went just out to like California and then worked our way back, kind of I forget how many different shows and stuff, but I think he was pissed off about how the record company didn't have any like stuff to sell, to the crowd. That's how you make your money, T-shirts and hats or buttons in those days, anything, He didn't have any of that stuff, and I think that pissed him off. And also the cover of that thing, I don't know who was in charge of that cover, but it was supposed to look like a phoenix or something, like coming from the ground, like with flames coming off of it. And I just thought it looked so shitty. I just said, it looks like a fucking chicken. It looks like a sweaty chicken. So we started calling it sweaty chicken. So it was more like, it was a joke, the whole thing, and as far as that went. But it was fun, it was good. For me, it was fun to kind of get back with Alpo again. It was like a little bit of a closure for me, because I was like, thrown out of the fucking band for no fucking reason at all, just because, Felice wanted something different, It's like, fuck you.
I think it's probably just more or less a thing of like, we used to have something that was working. Now, why aren't we now? Let's keep it going. Let's keep doing it. Right. So I said, yeah, I mean, it's fine by me. And Howard was still in the planes, that we were all still alive, no need to anything. I was dead by a car or a train, and so we said, let's just keep doing it. And I didn't tour you. It's kind of like, as soon as like the band started doing something, all of a sudden, we don't need you anymore. It's like, thanks a lot.
Well, they went to Europe more than once. I did go to Europe with the Real Kids, but not in the 80s. It was the year 2000. There was a lineup there, Billy Cole and Michelle Paulus on bass. It's a girl bass player in the Real Kids for a while. that was amazing. I had never been to Europe before in my life. I'd only seen it on a map. And so in the fall of 2000, we went to Spain and played a couple of dates over there and flew back. So I did go to Europe with the Real Kids, but it wasn't, you know, and I wanted to say something about that. After the lineup change and after I left, the Real Kids were still a band and still popular, and it changed into, I think, by design, it changed into more of like a pop band kind of thing. It was still rock and roll, but I think it was poppier. When I left in '79, they got another drummer and went to Europe like in early 80s and played for like 50,000 people, and they were very popular. So that, you know, it just went through those changes. You know, I sort of, the Real Kids is probably this, you know, sort of ongoing thing in that way. You know, so they were, and there was a second Real Kids LP with a different lineup. And it was a good little record. I've heard it played in clubs and stuff. It sounds good, you know, it's good. It's just a little more polished, a little poppier, and that's what was wanted. And that's what they had. And they were very popular in Europe in the early 80s. In fact, I mean, they did very well. They were stars over there practically. Just had some problems. So it went on, but I had really bonded with that first lineup. So when we did the reunion shows, like in the late 90s, we're flying around. That same chemistry was still there. That struggle that I had struggled with all the, you know, it was permanently there. It was just there didn't have to be any adjusting or anything. It was just like immediate. So we could do those reunion shows well and have them come off. The reunion shows were in the States, and we went to Toronto too. As far as that goes, you know, the reunion shows were about a year and a half. We're flying around. We were very well received. For the original lineup, there were people lined up outside, and we did something I'd never done before, in-store shows during the day, like in record stores. We'd go into a record store, set up and play. And the place would be packed, and there'd be people lined up on the sidewalk for those. So those reunion shows were very well received. I got the impression that people just went with the flow and just wanted to have fun, because I think that's really the bottom line. People just want to have fun and have some drinks with their friends and dance maybe, and they want to get too hung up on lineups and all that. If it's fun, then it's well received. And I got the impression again that it was people like that. And actually there was one show at the Abbey Lounge with Michelle and Billy Cole that apparently it was like the most packed it's ever been. They couldn't fit everybody in, but that place will only hold 100 people legally, so it wasn't this big deal. But Michelle had to leave because she was in another band. She was sort of, she couldn't be in two bands at once, so she had to leave. I had, without realizing it, gotten really attached to her being there. And when she left, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, you can't leave. What is this? I had not played any Real Kids songs when I was playing with the Real Kids without Alpo on bass. The only time I ever played any Real Kids songs was always with Alan on bass, always. When Michelle joined the group, obviously a different bass player, and she hadn't been playing that long, but she was fine. And I was thinking, because my foot, I'd find my foot playing the bass drum for certain songs just like I always had. And, I was thinking, well, gee, I might have to ask Michelle to do a certain rhythm on her bass on a song, But I found she was tuned into things rhythmically so that each song she would do the same rhythm. Different rhythms for different songs, but I found that I could depend on her rhythmically so that instead of asking her to sort of adopt to my foot just adopted to her bass playing. Because I could count on her. Like for a specific song, she would always play the same rhythm on the bass. There were some things going on that were kind of scary for me. Maybe not for, hardcore rock enthusiasts, but there was some stuff going on. And just having her be there, whether she played bass or not, she just really smoothed out the rough edges. So it made it a lot easier. It's like a painkiller. So when she left, it was like, wow. Everything just kind of collapsed in this way. She was great to have in there, though. Another thing about her, her whole orientation to playing is singing while she plays. When she was playing with the Real Kids, she didn't sing. It was just bass. And she was cool about that. She just wanted to play bass.
That was fun. That was kind of like, to me, it was kind of like, it gave me like a little bit of like closure, because I get to play with, people that I considered my friends. Alpha was always my friend. I mean, I don't even know why, or whose idea it was to not have me in the band anymore, but I mean, you would think that it friends you would say, oh yeah, we never keep him in the band now. A friend of mine, what stood Alice and, it's like that everyone's, since their own thing, there's something on a law. I can't explain it. All I know is it was kind of good for me because it got me to get to the stage where I could like play a lot of the songs that I wrote in the 70s. I put the CDs and hit records out, the Varmints, which is wasn't what I had. Like in the beginning when I first started playing, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to be doing, but it was kind of like, it's like the old say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. If you want to even do it yourself. Apparently. I said, well, I guess it's up to me to do it if I want to keep playing strong. And I hooked up with like good guys, and I'm the Varmints. I think every record CD, the members changed. You know, well, I did our first CD, and that's why I wanted to call it Assorted Varmints, because you didn't know who was playing what, who was going to be on it, how what was what, and that was that. No, I think they were Baby's Arm, and then I think Frank had changed it. I think it was just called the Ruins, and then he thought Classic Ruins was like the perfect name. I was never in Baby's Arm. But it's kind of like it was a lot of the same guys, I guess, that were in Baby's Arm were still in first Classic Ruins. That's another band that people change around and stuff. It's kind of like rolling, rotating doors, you know. Oh, I played in this band, I'm going to play this band for a while. And you end up going nowhere. You just end up going around in the circle like really figure out how you and around back and forth. Well, I always liked the Nervous CDs, and I liked DMZ too. We had Mono Man play piano at the first circuit, because the couple we were doing was like, we have to have like rock and roll piano on that piano in New York. That we're probably doing was Mono Man, and we did a lot of shows with them, DMZ class, and the little kids. I mean, and I always liked Pete Greenberg. But yeah, I have the, I'm not sure exactly where I have it in the other one, but I have like the tour schedule was kind of like works our way so to the west, and we'll work our way back again. Go through a lot of it's good. I mean, we were exceptionally well everywhere. Of course, we're always like a heavy drinkers, and if I had to use it, whatever, I don't know with it. Whatever it was to I know that myself and Alpha used to collect it. Basically, it was, to me, the whole thing was like, it was just a good time, you know, it was a party, it was and this, party has to end sometime. Everyone moves on, you know, and goes out to something better about it. I don't know, like I said, I got a chance to play a lot of my own material, like with the farm stuff. And I've always been a painter, and I always thought like, well, what are you going to do when you get too old to like rock and roll? I said, well, I'll make enough money from my paintings because I'll be like famous and it'll be worth money, you know. Then I'll just paint, you know, and which is what I'm doing now, except for the famous part, selling my paintings. This the one part that didn't fit into the dog. That's so anyone that wasn't buying anything. I got like a ton of stuff. It's just this place is so small. I'm like running out of wall space, and I'm up to like stacking stuff. That's half the reason I want to get rid of it. Was selling a lot of this stuff. No, I've seen Howard a couple of times. She's I don't know, she's just not that friendly of a type person. I think the last time I saw him was like, what I remember was at Alpo's Week. I think he's just like, Borgioli, the news. Conversation like that, you know, just like nothing. He couldn't abandon the song to sing, or was it the same ingredients, you know? I just think he had like a very good, it was like the way things were like set. I thought we had like all the right ingredients to make the song sound just right, you know. And with Alpo's bass play and Penny's mind like leading guitar playing and Howard playing chops. And, you know, with Felice just singing basically, and then doing his this guitar lead with a different sound and guitar, with the Rickenbacker. I thought that it was a good combination of everything to make the perfect sound of the song. But I don't know, a lot of the stuff that I heard later, songs out of the war, is well written, or I don't know. Like I just don't like the band anymore. It's like an old boss or something, you know. I don't like that company anymore. I just tried.
Well, actually, before that, there was a band that I was playing with Alpo called the Primitive Souls, which we did a live radio broadcast at WERS. I was listening to the tape just yesterday, and it sounded excellent. It was kind of like somewhere in the middle region where we were moving out of Beverly into Boston type area. Because we were living out in Rowell Side in Beverly. I don't know if you know what that is. But we lived like in a band house, and we played practice in the basement. And Alpo had a lot of really good songs, and I'm thinking of, and I had like a lot of older songs that I used to have back in those days, and I'm thinking of with the new Varmints that reform. I'm going to do like a lot of his like covers and stuff, you know, and maybe dip into some of my older stuff too, you know. It's good stuff, you know. And I'm sure no one's even heard the band or even heard the songs, you know. Most of the people on this planet, you know, you expect that big. Well, Alpo would sing his and I'd sing mine, which was kind of cool. He was a better singer than me in those days, just because he used to be a front man. To me, it was like brand new to me. I mean, all I wanted to do was play guitar, but you know, it's kind of like, well, if you want to do this, you got to do the whole thing, you know, write the arrangements, and I could always like sing backup, but being like a front man singer type guy is like a new area to me, new jungle for me. But it's easy. I think anyone that can talk can like sing, you know. It's that simple, you know. Some better than others, possibly. Some people can't hit a note, you know, and it drives me crazy. That's why I never sang in the Real Kids ever. Because the Felice, he was on his own key. You know, I would follow like the key of like my guitar went like you know, if I sing I'd go like that, you know. He was like, we'd both be playing like but he'd be going like or something, I don't know, whatever, however he sounded, you know. A lot of people liked the way that he sounded in that band, but it wasn't in the key that we were playing. And I didn't want to be a part of just making noise on stage, you know. I wanted to have something good. I'm a perfectionist in a way. Not totally, but a little bit. With what I try to do, you know, at least someone's gotta tell me what to do. It might as well be me. Well, it's just, it probably happened about as simply as like how this is happening right now. You interviewing me, things just fell together, and we always want to be in the studio. We always want to put out new music, and it was offered to us, and we said, yeah, let's do it. And I think that record came out really well also. So there's nothing really that I played on that I'm embarrassed about or anything, but I'm sure they could be a lot better in a lot of ways. Rickard's a nice guy. He's fine. No problem with him. He should have. I just think he should have done more records with the Classic Ruins and Lowdowns. You know, bands that I was playing in. You know, keep making records. You know, he should have fucking put some more money out there. Whatever he was up to, I don't know.
Well, we finally got our CD together, which was only like 8 songs. It took like 2 years to do, but Ray Boyhead He was nice enough to do it for us and nothing. He did a really good job on the production, I think. And there's some songs that are on there that I never thought would ever see the light of day that are on there, but it took like way too long to do. And it's just the way the timing, the way everything worked out. It was like just when the CD comes out, all of a sudden I forgot I was going to like practice or something, and I really can't like. I have a CD disorder, and I also have a it's called well, paint by the bikes like Tipper. Seizure disorder. I could be doing this conversation now, and all of a sudden I'm just like this. I mean, that's what kind of like what my seizure's like. It looks like I just fall asleep, and I guess I was on my way to practice on taking the tee, and I was by myself, and I just landed on my head on the cement, and of course I told them, I said, I'm okay, I'm fine. Is that I'm on you? They said, no, we gotta check you out and gotta do this. All last spring I was in different hospitals for about 5 to 6 months. I didn't know how long out they would pound that. But then, I mean, I've had a seizure disorder for almost 21 years now, and I've been doing like a lot of stuff. It hasn't really stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do, but it seems like as soon as like the CD came out, it kind of feels like the band kind of just felt like, well, we made a CD, so we're all set now. And I don't care about that. I mean, they did all kinds of stuff and cares all that stuff. I thought it would help people come to our shows, you know. It's like, well, you heard the CD, and now everybody's just selling, you know, make some money and get like Medicaid, but it never really worked out that way. Life has a way of turning things around on you, I guess. That's why you need like management, someone that's like, you know, that's like a manager or business type person. I'm not, I'm just, you know, I just like to if they rock on, I like to, you know, eat what if you got fun, but no, I just literally sound a businessman.
I'm so glad I'm here, I'm still alive. Yeah, and I wanna get in and on her. Yeah, said I wanna get in and on her. She's the sweetest thing I ever seen. A little bit of heaven, little Boston cream.
You know, I have no idea. I mean, I never made from all this stuff that I've been recorded on. I don't think they have any of anything. So, you know, poor starving artist, I guess. I mean, I was glad I had a place to land, you know.
Not that I know of. Possibly, we could. I'm not sure. I have a hard time remembering exact. I mean, what we played. I mean, some stuff could have been played. We might have said like, well, let's not use that one, and we'll do another one, kind of thing. But I think all the songs if any song like that was recorded, it came up in like a Lowdowns record or something, you know. It's like a leftovers type thing that we didn't use before, just to keep new songs going. I guess, you know, I don't remember. I was having too much fun. You know, being in New York was like a blast. I mean, it was like the place where I wanted to be. You know, this is a place with something going on, you know. You can't even walk down the sidewalk without everything going like this everywhere. Yeah, this is it.
No, I'll never know who someone's making some money, but it's not me. For doing that. I mean, I remember being like young enough to act, and when like signs up, it just said we were just happy about being able to make a record, but not particular from there and do it. Use the way we wanted it to the world. Thinking like it's the future. I'm like, what about shifting leadership now? Did we get any money on this? We're all kind of like, they're all found. You already be alive next week, That young attitude, let's say, when they're young. 20 years old, they said, no, it doesn't work that way.
I think it's an excellent recording. Not just because I'm playing on, it just has everything. That's great. That's good news. It's all of the basic goods, It had a good drummer. It had good rhythm guitar player. It had good songs, good arrangements, vocals. Nothing sounded like what's that noise kind of thing. It was like Howard's a really good drummer. We used to call him the pendulum. Those things that just like go by time. That's how he drums. He has like that kind of a rhythm, and I think just because of the way that we made the record, with a little bit of beer and Pernod, it gives it that extra spice, that extra kick, And we were all young and we were excited about it and stuff. It's a big deal to us. Still is if I could do it now. No, they were rock and roll songs, original rock and roll songs, with a bunch of teenage or young drunks. Great singer, bass player, musician, performer, everything. He should get 5 stars. I mean, I wish he was still around now. I would definitely get together with him now, or try to get together with him now. But it wasn't meant to happen, so he's playing off somewhere else.
Well, just about that time, the mid to late 70s, it was this huge change. Punk rock, new wave, is all under the change kind of umbrella. There were some bands that who could clearly be defined as punk rock bands, and there were other bands that were not like that, but they were still kind of included in the whole punk rock thing, and even called punk rock bands. I read and heard that the Real Kids was considered a punk rock band. That's fine. If that's what someone wants to think. I never felt it was a punk rock band myself, but that's okay. You have the Ramones, which I think could clearly be defined as a punk rock band. And then you have Blondie. Not punk rock, but still in the same neighborhood, kind of, you know what I mean? It was just all these new bands, and rock music in general just had to be redefined in this way, and that's the way locally. It happened in Boston, obviously, and it was just a lot of young people getting something on. I think most of the people were in their 20s, early 20s, late 20s. Some people were older, some people were younger. And it was just like a time that had to happen. As far as that goes.
Great. And they should, because it's all good stuff. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to mention the Trogs. I forgot to talk about that. It's about. Well, it was something I wanted to say, but you can say it. There was one of them. That was one of the best and strangest situations. The Trogs playing at Cantons. Did you go to Cantons? You know, it's a teeny little. Yeah, it was. I don't think they realized that Cantons was like a restaurant. Yeah, they were like kind of shocked when they got there. And it's how did I just stay? They sort of you know, I remember upstairs with them was them. They were like, you know, the lead singer. You know, he pretty much demanded that there be 2 shows. And it was the most amazing thing because it was mostly like the original members. I think there maybe one person that wasn't around. And they were using our equipment, real kids, but we opened up for them. That Trogs drummer, the same guy played all those primitive beats and all those songs, used my drums. And I still have the drums. That's what I wanted to do. It was amazing. And they were really good. It was bizarre because people were like, you know, like standing right there as you could do at Cantons. You could probably, because it wasn't like a stage. It was just on the floor kind of. Man, it was just like people, you know, with records to trying to sign them. It was great. It was one of my favorite things I got all about. Oh, yeah. It was one of my favorite shows.
Such a task, such a chore. Think I'll pass, it's such a bore. Got nothing on me, I don't need it. Put it to rest, put it to bed. You're driving me right out of my head, yeah. Got nothing on me, I don't need it. Baby's off the rocker, baby's off the rocker, baby's off the rocker, baby's off the rocker. Cut it out, let it go. Hit the bricks, yeah, hit the road, yeah. Got nothing on me, I don't need it. It's as plain as can be.
Here it is.
Thanks for listening to Rat Tales, Boston Rock Stories. Rat Tales is produced and directed by Lenny, Scolletta, and Mike Hoban, with a huge thanks to Medford Community Media in beautiful downtown Medford, Massachusetts.
What did I have for breakfast today?